Adobe has some updates to share about the Firefly online platform.
You're watching CineD, supported by B&H and CVP.
Welcome from NAB 2026. I'm here at the Adobe booth with Anton. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Always busy here, right, at Adobe booth? A lot of people.
Yeah, it's great. Day 3 is still standing.
Day 3 here, still standing. 2 more days, today and tomorrow. Well, anyway, so we're not here to talk about the time, but we're talking about updates to the Firefly platform. I mean, Firefly has been introduced, what, 2 years, 3 years ago?
Yeah, about that.
And is already deeply integrated in the products. But I think you also have like an online platform now. But I'm not going to talk about the new features, so I'll let that to you.
Yeah, Firefly is our platform for all things generative AI. And it's both our product and also like a family of models. And to your point, we are starting to really integrate them into our desktop applications, basically wherever people want to use them. But then Firefly.adobe.com is like a web platform where everything comes together, where you can access image models, audio models, video models, and way more to come.
Okay, maybe show us just a few things. We have a screen recording running here. I'm just curious to understand. I mean, I of course know the things that you can do in Photoshop, in Premiere, with the generative expand and extend and all those things, and replacement and so on. But why would I use the website?
Yeah, so my favorite tool in Firefly, I think, and I think the favorite tool for anyone doing video is called Firefly Boards. Firefly Boards is basically an infinite space, infinite canvas where you can do whatever you like, generate stuff, organize stuff, and you really get visual. Because an infinite blank canvas is kind of terrifying, because like there's nothing in there, I brought some examples that I've been using myself, like during the show. I think the most important thing, like depending on what content people make, depending on where you are in the production cycle, you can use it for different things. What I love most is, like I was working at a filmmaker, cinematographer before joining Adobe, and I always struggled getting my ideas into something that other people can understand. Like if I would describe a scene, in my head it makes sense. In your brain it's going to be different, in your brain it's going to be different. So I can use Firefly Boards to really visualize my ideas, both for myself, for my crew, but also for my clients to just to like communicate, this is what I would love to do, this is how it should look like. So all the misunderstandings that I think everybody knows from like their day-to-day work can be figured out in the beginning and not the end. I'd rather redo these images than go back and reshoot.
Okay, just show me what it's all about.
So just as an example, there's like realistic stuff we can do. So I was just saying, like, let's say we want to shoot a documentary or commercial in the Alps, just as an example. I can go ahead before someone even goes there to do like location scouting. I can generate example images to let people know what I'm looking for. Like it should be a drone shot of a village, should be like this cabin, should be like a wide shot, close shot, this is how it should look like. This would be the time of day, like the effects. And I can take that and not only generate videos based on that and make like an animatic, like maybe a rough cut of the concept. I can share this and ask someone to give feedback, to edit the thing live with me, or just leave comments to really get like the ideas from my head into something that everybody can look at.
Okay, so those are images and videos that you've generated with text prompts.
Exactly. One cool thing is, I mean, as you can see, like everything's on the board at the same time, so I don't need to like scroll up and see, oh, didn't I have that image like 20 places earlier? I can put everything, and like if I zoom out here, you can see it's like there's this massive space, and I can also connect things. So for example, I generated things over here, and then when I zoom in, and we can always load these things back into our prompt bar. I generated this image, and then I just wanted to edit it to change the time of day to dusk. So I can reference media on the same board without like having to download, upload stuff to make all these edits.
Okay, so you basically load already generated images back into the prompt window to make changes about it. And I guess you can also select specific areas that you want to change.
Yes, I can also put anything in, like I can put in actual videos, I can put in my own photography. If this would be not generative images, but like images from photos from a location scouting, I could even take that photo and say, oh, how could it look like when the sun's setting? So in location scouting, we don't need to wait until the sun's actually setting. We then go back and do the actual shoot. one other thing I really love, we're going away from realistic things more to like fantasy and inspiration. I can I can use effects that add something random to the same prompt. So what I always try to do in demos is find the simplest thing I can think of. Today I chose a cabin in the woods, which is like, it's the opposite of prompt engineering. It's just like not even half a sentence. Loading these things back into my prompt bar, it's just the cabin in the woods, and then some random effects that I can choose over here. So going away from like actual shot planning, sometimes like I'm just like, my brain is blocked and I have no idea kind of what new I can come up with. And I can look at these and like maybe some of them spark some inspiration for like my shoot, my project, to introduce something random. I think creativity, I totally also like, I love to go outside and get like inspiration from there. It's kind of similar. It's like something unexpected, something that doesn't come from my head, it comes from the outside. And I love that like limitless inspiration capability to just get new ideas.
Just to brainstorm, basically. Okay, cool. So this is all pre-production. What if I go deeper? What else can I do with the Firefly platform?
So one really cool workflow as well is, let's say I go out, I shoot this commercial, I shoot something, but there's like one shot of B-roll that's missing. For example, here, this frame is from an actual shoot that was shot on like an LED volume in the studio. So they have all these shots. It's a great, I actually have the whole project. I actually have the whole project here as well. The only thing missing is a drone shot because they shot it in the studio, so there was no drone and no location. So taking that frame, I can start by first using image models and not video models to kind of get it into a direction that I want, like changing it, like literally the prompt here is just, give me this background of this. Give me like the actual background that's not blurry, that's like a wide shot. Transform this to an area shot perspective, and then using the video models to generate my shots. I have like a drone shot over here, another one, also based on the same still frame. I have like this flyout. That would have been, in this case, impossible to do because we didn't actually go to that location. And I can not only like use them in my project, I can also right here upscale them with Topaz to 4K to like get the best quality possible.
So that basically you fill in the gaps of an actual production using AI images that are based on the actual images you took.
Exactly, it's really and we are not, and I know like it's a big topic of like how far can AI go, like what we should we use it for. In this case, I really love it. Like once we have visualized everything, filling like these few gaps in the timeline, that's really a perfect use case for that.
We've done a course on exactly that. We call it ethical AI filmmaking, which is exactly basing AI generated images on actual things you took and just filling in the gaps. It's very similar to that, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I think it's also a good time to talk about the models that you have available. We have the Firefly family of models. They're always available from like speech to music to image to video. One thing they really have in common is they're all commercially safe. So they've only been trained on licensed content. There's no copyright infringement risk. They don't violate any of these rights, don't violate any IP. People have been asking us to still give them the choice to use the model that they want. So we've added a curated selection of partner models from like third-party vendors so that I can use everything from inside the Firefly application. Again, the Firefly models are commercially safe. If you want to use another model, then it's really up to the artist, up to the user to decide kind of what model is best for their workflow. And it's like the commercial safety fine for that project.
When you say commercially safely trained, that's mostly on Adobe stock images, or?
Yeah, Firefly models have been trained on stuff like Adobe stock, other licensed content beyond that, and also stuff where copyright has been expired, like public domain content.
Okay, cool. What else can you show me?
I mean, this is Firefly Boards.
Yeah.
I think we looked at the coolest stuff. One more thing, you can actually use this to make a presentation. To like, if you have a project and you want to pitch to your client, you don't anymore have to like download the media and then go into PowerPoint or whatever app you're using to then manually make this. You can do it right here. and the client can see your workflow, your process. They can make comments. They can, if you want to, they can move stuff around. That's cool. And also, I think I mentioned we're integrating these things in our other applications. So you can actually just select these two media, right click, and I can just send them to Premiere on a desktop, which is also something just like eliminates like these few steps in between. No need to like download it, manually import it, you can just send them over.
But you mentioned client feedback, so it's basically the feedback function similar to Frame.io built in.
Yeah, currently people can leave comments. So my client could say like, oh, that shot, like, make this wider, or like, I don't like the production design, stuff like that.
And you mentioned upscaling with Topaz is possible, but what is the native resolution of the photos or for especially videos that you're generating?
Yeah, native resolution depends on the model. You can also choose. It's not only it's also a question of time it takes to compute and also credit investment. For the Firefly video model, for example, we can do 540p, 720, and 1080. So like taking this 1080 and upscaling to 4K, for example, would make a ton of sense. Different models have different resolutions, but sometimes you have the choice.
Okay, cool. Like, a lot of things you can do in the Firefly platform, but of course I have to ask the ethical question. I mean, we keep reporting about AI tools because I think it's important to know about them, and everybody can make their own decision because, of course, there is what you already mentioned with some of the models that have been trained on copyrighted content. A lot of people think it's very unethical to use AI, generative video specifically, and also generative images. So what's your answer to that?
Yeah, I think for us, it's obviously like the focus on why we're doing this. Our customer base is creative people, so we obviously want to equip them with the best workflows possible, both with and without AI. And I think for AI specifically, the ethical question, like it's the question, even like for humanity and society, like even beyond video, it's so important. For us, it starts with our own Firefly models. I think I mentioned they're commercially safe, not trained on any customer content, not trained on any IP, so only on content that we license. There's also this element of transparency, where every single content, every single piece you create in Firefly will carry content credentials. So anyone can go ahead and check and will see that one, it is AI, and then two, with kind of what model was used to make it. And
how can you identify it? Like if I see something and I want to find out if it's made with Firefly?
So we have the Content Authenticity Initiative. That's something that Adobe co-founded, but it's a non-profit organization. And they have like a verified tool, and you can even like make a screenshot of something, and you would see that information. It survives screenshots as well.
And it doesn't matter which model you use.
Yes, everything you generate in Firefly, if it's Firefly model or anything else, it'll always carry these credentials. So I think overall, I think these tools really enable you to do something great. We strongly believe, and I personally strongly believe, that real creativity is inherently human. So if you start prompting and you have no good idea, if you have like an average idea, you will get back average stuff. So I don't believe in like, oh, anyone can make a feature film and like this type of industry is now dead. I don't think that's realistic. It's like the bar that we think is great is just constantly raising. So if someone's really creative, it's the perfect time to use these tools to the extent that they feel comfortable with, because if they have awesome ideas, then their stuff will be awesome too.
Can you give us a bit of insight on, for me, the whole credit topic is a bit opaque because I never know how many credits I need for what. So, like generating a 10-second 1080 clip with an Adobe model, how many credits does that cost, and how does that equate into dollars or euros?
Yeah, every single model, every single workflow and feature, they always tell you how many credits they will use. It'll depend on things like, for example, here it's video 3.1, video 720p, 8 seconds with audio, would in this case use 400 credits right now. So you would always see this really transparently, so you know what's up before you commit to it. You can always check your balance and see how it kind of works like mobile data, like it resets every month, and you can check how many credits you need for that feature and how many you still have left. There's also a whole list on our help pages that like lists every single model, every single combination, and how many credits they'll use.
Cool. Firefly, when is it available, or who is it part of every Adobe plan? Is it separate?
So depending on which Adobe plan you have different amounts of credits included. I think the most popular, most known plan is the Creative Cloud Pro plan, formerly known as Creative Cloud All Apps. That'll give you 4,000 credits every month. And then different plans have different amounts of credits. If you run out, you can add on different plans that you can cancel every month. Also, if someone, maybe your client, maybe someone on your team, they don't actually need the desktop apps, they only need Firefly. We have Firefly-only plans available as well.
Thank you, Anton. That was quite comprehensive. Good insight into the Firefly platform. Good luck for the rest of the show. And thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned to CineD for a lot more from NAB 2026. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.